Hello everyone, the MTA is hiring. We're looking to hire talented individuals as bus operators, skilled tradespeople, and for positions in legal, labor. All right, guys, so I made it to the final stop, which is Brooklyn Bridge. When I go back up today, I'll take the uptown toward the Bronx. As you can see, there's a lot of people getting off work, going to work, all sorts of activity. So this is the Brooklyn Bridge stop, which puts us right by the courthouse. And again, folks, this is day 20 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. And I do this commute every morning consistently for those who might be commuting or just want to be nosy and see what's happening in the city. All right. We have someone already in and hit the like button. See, here's the problem. I leave home and it's not raining. This is my first time actually coming out. And what do you know? Down here is raining. But look at the skyline, folks. It's amazing. Heavy fog. I'm a big fan of New York City, so pardon me if I seem so excited about it. So at any rate, this is where all the municipal buildings are. This is where the feds, when they indict you, this is where you come and they decide your fate. Definitely not a place you want to have to come in life. From what I see, actually, like I've said many times before, I attended Donald Trump's trial and I was amazed. You know, the media, they tell you so much stuff that's not even true. Like they try to paint Donald Trump as a short guy, stubby or whatever. But I literally interacted with Donald Trump for his trial. And he came right by me. The guy is tall. Looked much different. I mean, same guy, but in person he just has a different presence. But at any rate, we have to be careful with the media. I see so much stuff. I mean, I see individuals at the court and they literally go outside and they'll post something bogus. And it kind of throws everything off, especially if you've been following this case and want to know the truth. Or, I mean, you know, listen, Diddy, I'm a Biggie Smalls fan. Always have been, always will be. I think personally he was the best rapper I've ever heard. That's just my opinion. So at any rate, though, let me talk to you about what's happening with the trial. So as of yesterday and last night on the channel, I did do a video, so you can go check it out. But I'll cover a few things that you probably haven't heard and give you my perspective. My perspective is different than everybody else, but I've been in the courtroom every day. I've been in the courtroom more than anybody else as far as the main courtroom. And you guys know, because I do these videos, you know I'm on time. Usually number one in line. I pay people to sit in line overnight. But let's get to the trial. So Jane, out of all the victims that Diddy has had a problem with, that has come to this trial and testified about him, to me, what I've learned from this case is that they started off with a good witness, which is Cassie, right? And everybody thought she was number one or she'd be the best witness. But let me tell you, she wasn't. What the government has done, they've started with a pretty good witness, but each witness or each victim keeps getting stronger. So this Jane, to me, is more incriminating than Cassie or the other girl, Mia. Because let me tell you the difference. Cassie had a relationship with Diddy, like lovers or what have you, almost like a side chick. You couldn't even really decipher like how they had coined themselves in the relationship. And this is going back 10 years or more ago. Well, this girl here, Jane, she's very convincing. I mean, there's some things she say that I question. I think she was more into Diddy than meets the eye. And I think today under cross-examination, they're going to expose her because I think they're going to really hang her up because she paint this picture like, yeah, I'm only getting child support. Yeah, but how much is that child support? And and that might be an issue for her when they find out the amount for her child support or all these other details about her life. But she's a very strong witness, and let me tell you what takes her to the high level, as they say in court, at a high level. We went through a whole day of text messages yesterday. I was about to pass out from them reading so many text messages, but this is the problem. In those text messages, and this lady, she hasn't sued Diddy, not yet. And the feds had to come after her and subpoena her to get her in court. Diddy's still paying her rent right now, $10,000 a month. She has a legal team. She's in there testifying. Basically, her testimony hurts Diddy. But believe it or not, Diddy is paying for her lawyers. So that's the reason why Diddy turned around yesterday and was like shaking his head, like, basically, I'm paying for this person that is actually probably going to create more issues in his case than anybody else. But at any rate, in her emails, in her text messages and emails, she's basically breaking down to Diddy saying, listen, you have me doing all these debauchery nights. They call them hotel nights, but basically Diddy would have her, or sometimes he would do it. Cassie also said the same. They would go online to Cowboys and Angels and hire men to come in and basically have sex with Cassie while Diddy was observing and doing what he was doing in the corner. Some of them testified to hearing Cassie being abused so much that the man could no longer be stimulated, so Diddy had to basically send him home. The first sex worker came in. He says once he heard Cassie take that hit, he couldn't get motivated. And so this girl, let me let this whatever go by. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't want all that on me. So anyway, we survived that, guys. Everything's intact. But in her, it's one thing when they come to court and the women say, yeah, he did all this to me, right? And so the defense, they paint this picture like, you're just here for the money. You're saying this now because the feds showed up. But this girl, about 2 years ago, they're going through the text messages. She's telling Diddy in these text messages, I do not want to be sleeping with these strangers. These strangers I got sick. I got a UTI from doing this. I do not want to do this. So that's a problem to me, because it's not like she just came to court. Hey, how are you? Good morning. It's not like she just came to court. Guys, here are all the different YouTube channels. You have all of the press here. You'll see the big league people here. You probably recognize on TV on a day-to-day basis. There's law and crime here. All right. And it looks like, hey, what's happening? There's my guy. And it looks like, hey, you got to watch some of these guys. They're sneaking in. You know what it is, right? Yeah, you got to make sure they don't sneak in, all right? If I'm paying, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to be having those freeloaders popping in front of me. So anyway, it is what it is. I ain't tripping on it. But anyway, so this is where we're going every morning. The middle here is for the public. We get 14 people in every day. On the right-hand side is where the press goes in. We see Udo on the go. He's hard at it. He's out here every day covering the trial and so forth. Across the street here is the professionals. You can see they have their whole encampment there. They're ready to go. So I've started to eat breakfast. Once I go into the courthouse, it's just too much to go to Starbucks or whatever, and then they change up. They don't really have a solid order. So the other day when I remember I was talking to you guys, I pretty much almost lost my spot in line, even though I got it back. But I don't even want those type of issues, so I just eat inside the courthouse. On the eighth floor, they have a nice cafeteria. You can get a coffee and bacon, egg, and cheese, or whatever it is that you want. If you're not a meat eater, what have you. So anyway, getting back to the trial, this girl, this lady, and believe me, she comes across as the most believable. Although in this case, I told you guys, the person that I think hurt the case or hurt the defense more, and like I said, I'm neutral about it. I have a lot of cases I'm going to be covering, so I don't really take a position on it. I don't have a dog in the fight, you know. As long as they don't come after me and deal with me, I'm just here to tell you what's going on. This is what I like to do. And now that I'm on the big channels and they're giving me new cases, I just asked that you guys, when you see me put up my new case today, actually, check out the case. It's a lady out in Arizona that killed, I think, the husband's ex-wife, and then she killed the 3 kids, and the judge kicked her out of court last week. So I'll be covering it. I have to familiarize myself with the case so that I can go on and talk about it and sound like I know what I'm talking about. This case, I know the details of it. Some of these cases I'll be flying out and all this other stuff. Hey, I'm fit for the calls. Fit for the calls. I'm ready to go. Excited about it. So at any rate, this Jane is telling how, in fact, one night she's with 3 men. I guess they called it a sobriety night or something like that. And so then they were planning another night. And get this part, this is going to be the tough part. And I want to tell it in a way where, you don't really have to bar from hearing what I'm saying. They set up a night. So she's saying basically when Diddy would become sad with her, she would basically have to cheer him up with a freak off. So now every week in her testimony and in her text messages, many times she's saying, for the last, I believe, 2.5 years, I've been doing a freak off with strangers every week. And basically she's saying also, and this is how they're trying to get Diddy for fraud, sex trafficking with fraud, because they're saying that he made a material, he lied about a material fact, basically with fraud. That's how it goes. You're being defrauded. So someone lied to you about a material fact. That's what they call in this fraud, right? So in this case, he would tell her, come out tonight, sweet darling baby, or whatever he told her, sugar plum, I'm going to wine and dine you. And then she'd get there, and he's throwing a strange man on her that's going to end up having a relation with her and doing all sorts of crazy things that they were doing, a lot of baby oil. And then when it came down to these freak-offs, let me tell you guys something that people don't tell you in the media. They tell you all this big stuff. I tell you the small stuff because I don't really care to get all clicks just because I'm making up some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for cursing, but it is what it is. So at any rate, the freak-off would have levels to it. It would have sessions within the freak-off. So the first session is Diddy would have them putting on baby oil. So Cassie and this particular girl, Jane, they said usually the sex worker would be on the bed or what have you. She would come in and Diddy would be in the corner and he'd say, okay, start rubbing each other. And then this whole session of rubbing each other and baby oil could go on for like an hour or two. Like, what the hell? One time they took like a pool, like a kiddie pool, and filled it with baby oil like a slip and slide. Like, what is the obsession with baby oil. Is Johnson and Johnson still in business, folks? I don't know. Maybe they sold out of baby oil. But anyway, all jokes aside, that was the first. Then Diddy is narrating the story. So this is how they're saying he's controlling them. He would say, okay, start touching them. Touch him there. And he tell the man, touch her there. He's telling them what to do. Oh, come touch me or whatever, right? And then it would get into the whole process of all the, what happens next, right? So this is how they're showing that he is actually controlling the whole situation. But not only that, the most damning is that they're showing that in many cases, they would fly the sex worker from New York to L.A. We heard in this story with Jane, they flew a sex worker, I believe, to Miami and also to, I believe, Turks and Caicos, I believe, someplace. The bottom line is they flew them out of the country. And if you look at in the end of the case, when they go before the jury, they're going to be asking those questions you have to check off on. Was their money paid for prostitution, I mean, there's people that these sex workers have testified that the first guy, David, he came in, David Phillips, he said, I was hired for $200 to come and dance for women. And he got there and walked in, he saw Cassie, he said she was so beautiful. I think he would have did what he had to do voluntarily, because that's how beautiful she was, right? But he said when he walked in and she led him to the bed, there's a man that came in the room, and that kind of threw off his whole, mindset. Like, how can I do this in front of her husband? She did say, my husband is not gay, and that's a ring that we keep hearing. Although we have heard some weird stuff about ejaculation and playing with that, we have not, and we've heard it twice so far. There's nothing about men being whatever. Like a lot of the stuff you hear graphically involving celebrities and the whole No Diddy movement. We haven't heard that part of the story. So at any rate, just getting back to the freak off, the men would proceed to finish off, and then Diddy and Cassie would go into the next room, and that's where you hear the story about what they were doing with the ejac, we'll call it. So it's very complex. I don't know, maybe it's probably where I'm from in life. I didn't understand how people get a kick. I guess it's almost like people watch porn, because they did say that there's a lot of porn going down. So maybe a guy says, hey, I want to have the real life experience, but guess what? I'm going to have you come and do it to my girlfriend. Like, what kind of a country, where do people get these ideas from? Like, how would you really get off on that? I really don't understand, especially if you claim to love somebody and you have 4 guys, with them 4 days straight, no sleep. And then when you lose your energy, you get more drugs. That does not sound like love. I just don't understand. So I can't wrap my head around this whole situation. It's quite confusing when you hear. And check this out. This is what blew my mind. Jane said that she took ecstasy and she made love to the sex worker. I'm like, how the hell do you make love to a sex worker? I thought maybe I just I don't understand a lot about this section in life, so I'll just stay out of it. I'm not trying to understand this craziness, but that's what happened. So there was a final big story that she told in regards to the freak-offs, where I think it was on the 18th of September. She had told Diddy she was going to take 3 men down at one time, at the same time. And Diddy was excited about it. She said she did it because Diddy was upset with her about something or bored, and she wanted to just get him excited. And so that's what happened, folks. She had it scheduled. And check this out. This is the funny part about it. When they were scheduling that night, Diddy had actually texted her and says that RICO is available, meaning perhaps a sex worker is available. And guess what? It did not go down because she was on her time of the month. So RICO never came, but Diddy got a RICO from the federal government. Isn't that amazing? So be careful what you ask for. He got a RICO, but it was not the RICO, the sex worker. Here's the RICO right here. 500 Pearl Street. That's RICO, folks. That's what RICO look like. If you go out here and you reckless, I don't care how much money you have. They bring him in. They bring him in every morning. They take him out. He cannot walk out of this building and have the freedom that most of these people, that even the homeless people have. And he's a billionaire, is what they say. So, life is that way. I guess we have to be careful with our words, because you might ask for a RICO, but you might get the one that you don't want. So that was very interesting to me, to say the least. And people are not reporting on that. So that's why I do this. I'm trying to give you guys some insight of what's happening. But I will tell you, the defense is very good on this trial. Brian Steele and also Westmoreland. She is, when I tell you she's bad, man. Her questioning, her delivery, the way she builds her story with the victims or the witnesses, she systematically will break you down. So, it's so rare to see someone perform at such a high level, and she's really nice. Whenever I get around her, she always speaks. Also, Brian Steele's the same way. They are top of the line. Everyone has their good, strong points. I noticed when Donaldson is a tall, black guy, bald-headed guy. He's Diddy's attorney. Sorry, you have to be conscious of your surroundings around here, because all sorts of stuff happens. But Donaldson, whenever he gets on the stand, he showboats, I call it. He does all this with his hands, and the jury, they love him, So whenever Brian Steele gets on the stand, folks, remember now, we saw him cover Young Thug trial for about, a half a year. Whenever Brian Steele gets up, listen, I ain't gonna lie about it, I get excited too, man. This guy, you can learn so much from him. I mean, his whole narrative is almost like going to a Dave Chappelle show. He'll start off and he'll talk about a clock, and then he'll tie that clock in. Here's Tisa Tales for you. I know a lot of you are Tisa fans, so I know everybody wants to see Tisa, so there she goes. Hey, how are you? So, no, you're all good. Hey, listen, it's all love. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Yeah, she's top of the line too. That's her cool. Just talking to me. She would, I think it's, I forget what the number is, but one of the big ones. So yes, you see the line back there? That line is heavy, you see? So it's nice to be in the front of it. Just even going through the line is going to take some time. So anyway, getting back to the attorneys, here's what I see. And I have to be very judicious in what I'm saying. I'm trying to give you guys like a real, truthful story or narrative about what it is. I know it's probably not at a high level, like being in the studio or whatever, but the facts is the facts, and this is what I'm trying to bring you. I thought that the government would be at 90% right now against Diddy, and he'd be at like 10. They're more like 60, right? And they're going to be resting their case probably maybe the end of this week or into next week at the latest. And then the defense gets to put on a whole show. So if you're sitting at 60 and they put on a great show, that number is going to shift. So I just thought, but don't get me wrong, the government is doing a great job building their case. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The average Joe, they'd be locking you up and throwing away the key. That's just what it is. And not even just 1 week of this trial. Any week, you could choose week 1, week 2. If that was you and I, they'll be sending us up to El Salvador. That's what Trump fellas will be sending us out of the country. And quite a few of my followers always say that, oh, send them to El Salvador. That's a whole nother discussion. But what I'm saying is, that's just how bad it is. It's so bad. There's no way to get around it. I can't be truthful to you guys and come on here and tell you some bogus stuff. I have to be at the core. I'm going to tell you what I feel. And there's a lot of things that are wrong that I noticed about the media. Like, for instance, I'm sitting here in court. They said, yeah, the call came in that Diddy burglarized Kid Cudi's house. But the police officer took the stand and he said, we wrote it on the police report as trespassing. It's not burglary. So it's not fair for people to just, burglary sounds better. So they keep pushing that narrative. But still, Capricorn Clark put Diddy in the house. You have a witness that's putting you there. I mean, there's the financial guy. You have all of his assistants. They're coming through, or well, some of them are coming through, and they're talking about getting guns and going after Suge Knight. Now, is this a RICO? Well, they got R. Kelly for a RICO, and as a one-man band. Now, I have to research and see who else they have gotten as a one-man band. I haven't heard. Maybe Harvey Weinstein. I'll have to see. Was that a RICO? I did not follow his case, so I can't really speak on it. So that's it for today, folks. I'm gonna go through the comments now until it's time to go in. So let me go through the comments. Thank you guys. There's a lot of people that's been on. Yeah, that's trespassing, and that's what came out in court. That's what's on the police report. Yeah, they need security on. Right on, Coco. Shout out to you. Deborah, thanks for being consistent, rocking out with me. Yeah, Robert, he wanted a RICO, and he got a RICO. It ain't the RICO he wanted, though. Coco, it's been a lot of testimony. The jurors have a huge task. Yeah, a huge task, but the problem is a lot of these victims and witnesses, they've been caught in lies. And so it muddies the waters, right? So, okay, Sister says, I'm a Tisa fan too, and Tisa turned me on to this creator. And I'm pleased with the diversity of thought. All right, very good. Thank you. The chosen one, yes, I'm a Tisa fan. A lot of Tisa fans here. Hanging with Mel, number one, okay. Thank you, Deborah, I appreciate it. Robert, this is crazy. Coco, today will be interesting. Okay, he got me with the Johnson & Johnson still in business. Yes, sir, Robert. I heard the shelves are empty. You can no longer get baby oil. You'll have to get some Vaseline and probably boil it or something. I don't know. Now, what's interesting, I'll share this with you. There were no drugs in the baby oil. Remember that rumor was going around? There was drugs in the baby oil. Well, that's not true. But what they did do with the baby oil, they would run hot water over it so it would shine like new money. There's some sort of freak-a-leak obsession with body shining or something like that. Baby oil OD'd, almost OD'd on baby oil. Now, I've just made that. I'm just joking, guys. Don't get that. Don't put that out there. But yeah, baby oil overload. Okay, so let's see here. Just plain nasty from AC. What and who are we waiting for here? Okay, let's see more. All right. Sounds like Cassie going to jail also. No, I think there's a section of cooperation. So if you cooperated,
Okay, I see.
If that's the case, then there'll probably be no time. That's the sad part about it. You come in here and as long as you cooperate, they'll be all right. Donna, shout out to you. I see you're a familiar face now. I remember you from yesterday. Ooh, wow, Sharice Brewster, shout out to you. Deborah, he has a pattern of getting things done, I believe. Yeah, I believe so too. Okay, Deborah, I remember get a wholesome meal or last meal. Right on. Sharice Brewster, good morning to you. Good morning to you too. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the line is crazy. The line is crazy. Yeah. Let's see here. Right. Okay, I really think he has these women involved in to lure men. He is bisexual. Quite possible. That is quite possible. Um, that's a strong point. Black tats only. One thing I know, you may don't care, but if you want more viewers, react to your chat. Well, that's what I'm doing. I do it at the end after I tell my story, so I don't leave my chat hanging. But thank you for the information. Sometimes you just have to stick around to the end. I can't walk through the subway, try not to get knocked in the head, and respond to it's just too much, and then fall on the stairs. It gets crazy, so I try to wait till I'm in a good spot. Okay, so black tats on professional women, aka backstabber. All right, Deborah, ignore ignorance. Hi bye. Free Diddy on gang. Yes, gang gang. Sister says, I see bots are here already. Yeah, they come in. They're the first to come in, I guess. Hey, John, hold on 1 second, guys. Just sit tight. Yo, where's my...
Oh,
where am I at?
like where I was standing. You got where I was standing.
Okay, right here? All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So,
I think they have a couple people. Haven't
okay.
had a couple people.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but you're like, I don't know what
Okay.
they said I was.
All right, it's all good.
Something like
I got it
three.
from here. Thank you, brother. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you're welcome. Thanks, Mo.
Great work, all right? Thank you, thank you. All right,
Through
so...
the rain, through the cold,
hmm?
I persevere like the post office.
Yeah, I got you, brother. I got you. I really appreciate you. All right, so... Okay. Yeah, the bots are here. Free Diddy. Yeah, Ross. Yeah, these bots are out of control. All right, so it looks like we covered all the comments. Let's see if we have any new ones. How many days do they think are left? 4 more weeks.
So,
We're going to go basically to January the 4th is what they're saying. Yeah, Coco, John's been doing his thing. Yeah, definitely. Deborah says, missed the full moon because of the rain. The dangerous territory. Sketchy. Very sketchy, Deborah. Fresh Stray. These guys' versions of the owner. I just, I don't know what that is. So, everybody else might know. Okay, P. Diddy is a rich, powerful guy who treated people like his own. Worshippers of servitude, bowing to his government. I'm from Australia. Get over this. More better things to do. All right, so everybody, Philip Leonard, pay attention to what he said because he has everything figured out for the day. So if you want to be productive, follow what he's saying. Okay, so we have a dose of that. We can move on. Deborah, line starts night before. I hear Tisa, yeah. The line starts, like, even when I come out at 5 o'clock, there's probably 4 or 5 people in line already for the next day. So I appreciate my line sitters and I make sure I pay them extra. Okay. Robert, how are people getting all this info? A lot of it's made up, but we're able to get in court, sit in court just like everybody else, and most of the information, at least what I'm reporting, are things that I'm actually hearing in court. If I don't hear it in court, I don't come to my own conclusion and try to push some false narrative, all right, so I think that's it. Oh, is this trial televised? No, it's not televised. Yes, Brianna was confusing. I found the too. All right, thank you. Thank you, Coco. I think KK is a still co-conspirator, in my opinion. Has to be. And I think her only way out, or to survive this, she has to cooperate, or else the boys in blue are gonna definitely show up. All right, they're definitely gonna show up. So that's it, folks. I guess that's it for today. As you can see, it's raining out, but so many people are in line, and they can't wait to get in there and go back and report to their subscribers the things they heard and saw today and whatnot. So I'm gonna check out now. This has been my little morning show. Yeah, it's a big line, right?
Big.
Yeah. So that's it. This is the courthouse. Thank you. Hey, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Bless you, American. You are divided by color, and your skin is sad. Come to Australia. All right. I definitely want to come out there and check out the kangaroos. Definitely. I'm excited about coming to Australia. I went to Italy a couple months ago, so I'll definitely be coming. That's on my list too. All right. Yeah, I did. I let Tisa use my umbrella. Yeah, you know a lot, Deborah. I didn't know you were. Deborah's on top of things. I appreciate that. All right. Joseph Lynn, we're here live at the Sean Puffy Combs court case. We're in line waiting to go in for day 20 of week 5. We have another 4 weeks to go. And today starts the cross-examination of Jane. She's going to be cross-examined by Tinny Garrigos. By Tinny Garrigos. So that's what's going to happen today. And we're here for it. So that's it. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Okay. Let's see, Robert. He needs the body to shine. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, again, this is going to be a tough trial. I think it's a very tough one to beat for the defense. But hey, they say prevention is better than cure. So the name of the game is to never abuse people, especially women and children. Stay off drugs, especially crack, and mind your business. Stop going on people's channels, running your mouth, going in public, running your mouth. Just try to be a decent human being, and this is how, all the fights that break out here, it all starts with somebody trying to be a wise guy, running their mouth. And then, next thing you know, we have chaos. And usually, chaos starts at the smallest level, and it grows to be something that nobody can really stop. So Diddy had an opportunity here to really change things, but unfortunately, he got himself into a lot of trouble. It's not a conspiracy from the government. When you misbehave, that's on you. That's just a simple way of looking at it. You can't blame other people. All of us make mistakes, but we also have to live with the consequences. So the name of the game is mind your business and leave other people alone. And that's it, folks. I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock. I'll have a special guest on. It'll be exciting. We're also going to have a body language expert on this week. So I'm trying to bring you guys people that operate on a high level so you get a perspective that you normally don't get on other people's channels. All right? So let's see here. Guys, give me 1 second. 1 second here. Got it. All right,
hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Listen, let's move over here. Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? We got Mel. Listen, today is going to be, I don't know, it's going to be make it or break it, right? Make it or break it for Diddy, because what's going to go on? The defense is about to unleash hell. Also, I do believe the prosecution, they responded back to that mistrial thing, and they're trying to bring Dr. Hughes back. So today is going to be, it's going to be brutal. I know they are trying to bring hell out, but what can they actually say and do? Besides saying that Jane is a ho-ho-ho, besides that, what can they do,
Right.
Yeah. And last time I checked, but listen, you guys, make sure you guys are subscribed. Turn your notifications on. Do what you can to support Mel. He is all over, but that's because people recognize his greatness and the great court analysis. I'm actually trying to get him on my channel now. Make sure y'all put a good word in for me, and tell Mel to come over and do something on my channel. Anyway, y'all.
Absolutely, I will. Shout out to Tisa Tells, everybody. Go
All right.
subscribe.
See you guys.
Thank you, Tisa. I appreciate you.
There you go. Come. Okay. There you go.
Okay, very good. So that's it, guys. You have your dose of Tisa Tells. I know a lot of you in the audience came over from her channel, so you see We know each other in real life, and she is awesome in real life. That's all I can tell you. And we have each other's back out here. That's very important. So I'm glad to make a connection with Tisa. It's going to be a lifelong process, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's it, folks. I think Tisa wrapped it up better than I could. And I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll be back on tonight at 8 o'clock, all right? We're going to have a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about what's developed today so you can have more insight on this case. And have a good one.